What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the vlog. My name is Garrick Stover and I appreciate you guys being here, especially today because I'm a champ through this video. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but y'all are here, I'm here, so let's make the best of it and let's get this video in. This video is going to be all about my top 10 most asked questions when it comes to my female clients. As a health coach for women's fitness and nutrition, I get asked a lot of questions and there's some that overlap all the time. So I made a list of my top 10 questions and we're going to dive into them today and see if it helps you guys as well. So sit back, relax, and let's jump into it. Let's go. Alright, so in no particular order are these questions laid out, but this first one is probably the one I get asked the most. This is probably the one that comes up in your journey. You've probably thought about this one time. I'm sure we all have, and it's a very, very popular question. But the number one question that I do get asked is, what is the best way to lose fat? Now, this can be a very, very deep question. It can be a very simple one. So to put it very simple to start, there's no specific way that's best to lose fat. There's a few things that you can do. There's a few tools that you may implement. There's a few routes you may go, but there's not a best way to do it. It's basically, to put this in the easiest way possible, the best way to lose fat is a way that you enjoy that's going to be burning more calories than you're intaking in a day. So if you are intaking more calories than you're expending, than you're burning off in a day, you will gain weight. Now, whether that's fat, that's muscle, depending on what you do during the day, during your activities. So if you're to gain muscle and you're trying to gain muscle, that wouldn't be a problem if you're eating in a surplus. But if you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to lose fat, this could be a detrimental thing that you may not be noticing. So some people track macros, some people hire a coach, some people just go on a diet. There's a few different methods and a few things that you can dive into, but the best way to lose fat is one that fits your life, your goals, and your body and your lifestyle. So there's a few different things you can dive deep into there, but it's my best answer to just kind of cover it essentially. Now, there's not going to be one key that's going to make or break your fitness goals. Let's say if person A is doing this plan and person B is doing this plan, they could still see amazing results. It depends on their lifestyle, their goals, and what they're trying to do. So I hope that helps. Okay, so question number 2 isn't really a question, it's more of a statement I receive all the time, but I do want to just touch on it. So it's one thing that I have heard a lot, and it's, I'm having trouble reaching my goals. Now, one of the biggest downfalls with this is it depends on what you're trying to do and it depends on what time frame you're putting on it. Most times when women come to me and they're stressing about not achieving a certain goal or they're having trouble achieving this goal, it's because they're putting a time frame on it and they're not doing a realistic blueprint to reach that goal in that period of time. And lots of those times when you do those excessive diets, when you do fad diets, when you do jump on something that's a little more extreme than your lifestyle can handle, it's going to be too much and you're not going to follow through, and that's where you're going to see that lack of result. That's where you're going to see that miscommunication between where you're trying to go and where you're at. So if you are having trouble reaching your health and fitness goals, if you are having trouble with any stage of it, even beginning to the middle to the end, to knowing when to stop, to knowing when to start, what to eat, there's many things that you can do to reach out. But if you're having trouble reaching your goals, it's ultimately a matter of fact of what you're doing on a consecutive basis. Now, anything we do consecutively, anything we do on a regular basis continuously is going to be something that builds a habit. It's going to be something that builds up over time. So if you're doing this slowly and steady, you may not notice these little detrimental things that you're doing day to day, but after a month, after 2 months, it will build up and you will see that detrimental result in a larger scale. So if you want to minimize that, my best suggestion is to start implementing small micro tasks or habits that you can build off of. So for example, if your goal is to drink 4 liters of water and you've never been on any sort of program before, you've never drinking that much water, it's going to be very difficult for you to get in that 4 liters of water day 1. Maybe you start with 1 liter, maybe you start with 2, and then maybe you work your way up to 2.5, maybe you work your way up to 3. You see what I'm saying? So the more you build that habit, the more you consecutively do that throughout the days, you will see that progress grow and you will see that eventually be the normal for you. So the best way to reach your goals if you are having trouble is to just build these micro habits that you can build upon. Alright, so the next question I do want to dive into is one I get a lot from my female clients is, what should I be eating and what diet is the best for me? Now, this is a very deep subject because it can attain to anything. It can be dependent on your lifestyle, it can be dependent on your goals, it can be dependent on your physique currently. It can pertain to any one of those things and all of them at the same time, as well as much more. So with that being said, and with that being in mind, you can't really say what's the best diet, what's going to be the best generic one. It depends on what you need. So to find out what you best need, you could talk to a dietitian, you could talk to a coach, you could talk to a nutritionist, you could talk to a number of people, you could go online and search these things up. There are many resources that you can do, but in terms of what's the best, to put it generically and to kind of fit the mold of everybody, if your goal is to lose weight, if your goal is to see fat loss, if your goal is to kind of shrink down the waistline and all those kind of things, then you want to be in a calorie deficit. Now, a calorie deficit is going to be something that is less calories than you're taking in a day. So if you're taking in around 2,000 calories to remain exactly the same, if you are eating less than that, so even if you ate 1,999 calories every single day, you will still slowly lose weight. Now, it would be very slow, but you understand what I'm saying. If as long as you eat under that, you'll slowly lose weight. Now, as you lose that weight, that number will change. It'll have to get lower for you to be in a deficit. So it's basically however much you're burning in a day or taking in a day, you need to be burning more. And the opposite way, if you're trying to gain muscle, grow, you have to be eating more than you're taking, than you're burning off in a day. So let's say you're still at that 2,000 calorie mark to stay exactly the same as you are now, but you want to gain muscle, you want to increase your size and strength, then you want to be eating more calories. Now, depending on where you are and how aggressively you want to go, your number of increase or decrease will be a little bit different. I wouldn't go anywhere above 500 either way, but that's another topic for another day. But the best diet for you right now is one that fits your lifestyle, your goals, your needs, and kind of what you can actually do. So don't take more than you can chew, don't bite off more than you can chew, and kind of just take it for what it is and kind of take it step by step and build these little micro habits that can pertain into something bigger along the way. All right, so another really common question that I get asked by many of my female clients is, should I take fat loss supplements and are they good? Do they work? One of the main things I want to say is yes, they do work 110%, but it's going to be in accordance to how hard you're working as well. There's no magic pill. There's not going to be this secret formula that you take and all of a sudden you're down 10 pounds, or this secret pill that you wake up and you're all of a sudden 10 pounds heavier with muscle. It's going to be still work on your end, and it's going to just aid in what you're doing. So if you are to take it and do absolutely nothing, you're going to see no results. Now, if you take the fat loss supplement, the weight loss supplement, and you incorporate it with resistance training or some form of physical exercise or physical movement, you will see those benefits. And the more you're putting in, the more you're going to get out, kind of thing. So if you're just taking a fat loss supplement, if you have, say, a thermogenic drink and you're just mixing it in your water and you're just drinking it throughout the day, you can see minimal results, but it's going to diminish very quick. It's not going to be anything that you'll really see for a long time or see increase anything more than just a little bit, and it'll probably fade after the first few times. So if you are to do anything like that, you will want to actually be doing it in accordance to resistance training and doing some sort of physical resistance or getting active throughout your day. So another big question that I get asked extremely often by my female clients is, how often should I be working out? Again, like many of these, this is going to pertain to your lifestyle, your goals, and your body's needs. Now, for myself, I train anywhere from 4 to 6 times a week, depending on what I got going on, depending on how my work schedule is, depending on how life's going. But it's more about the journey, it's more about the time putting in and the things you're more consecutive with. So if you're consistently going to the gym more than you're not, you're going to see those results. Now, if you go more, it's not always better, it's not always going to be more positive, but it can be a tool to use if you're trying to achieve a certain goal. So let's say you are doing a bodybuilding show and you really want to dial it down. Yeah, there's going to be certain times where you need to go to the gym, you need to be on your game, you need to be doing these things. Whereas if you're just doing it for lifestyle, you can take it a little more relaxed and you don't need to be there 6 times a week. You can be there 3 times a week and see amazing results. You can work out from home 3 times a week and still see amazing results. It depends on how intense you're going, but the best thing that I can say is the more you go on a little less time is better than going less with more time. So if you're someone who goes to do a workout, whether it's at home or the gym, and you only go twice a week, but you're going for 4 hours each session, that's worse than someone, say, going 6 times a week and doing an hour session or even a half-hour session. You'll get more out of those shorter sessions consecutively and consistently rather than the long sessions, very sporadic. So another common question I get asked by a lot of my female clients is there a difference between fresh and frozen fruit and veggies? Now, there can be a number of differences between them depending on where you're shopping, depending on which brand you're going with or what you're actually doing. The best option possible would be to grow them yourself, but obviously we all can't do that. Obviously we all don't have access to that kind of resource. But with that being said, if you can buy organic food, they'll probably be the least amount of pesticides and they'll probably be the best for you. However, if you do go fresh or frozen option, typically most of the nutrients that are stripped from the vegetables happen before that process even begins, before they are frozen. So buying them fresh or frozen, there's really not much difference in nutrient value between the two, whether you're talking fruits or veggies. Now this can range depending on the brand you get, depending on what food or veggie or fruit you're actually getting. It can range a little bit, but overall you're getting the same nutrient content from each one, whether it's fresh or frozen. Okay, so another huge question, this is probably one of the biggest ones that I do get asked by my female clients. When it comes to fasting, they ask if this should be something they implement, is it something that they should do? Now for myself, I usually don't tell my clients to fast, and there's a number of reasons behind it. Typically with female clients, food can help regulate your hormones in many different ways, and that's one of the things that I don't like throwing off balance. So if we can get those regulated with food and having a proper diet where it's not even a diet, it's more nourishing your body, I try and stick to that. Whereas fasting, it's a whole other ball game. You kind of got to be a little more conscious of what you're doing, timing things out, so it's a little more on your end as well as your coach. So for anyone who's looking at fasting, it can be a great way to achieve a fitness goal. It can be a great way to see some health benefits, and I'm not hating on it in any way, shape, or form because it can see some amazing results. You just got to be very careful with it because there is a downside, and the downside when it comes to fasting is weight gain. Now, when you put your body through an expended amount of time of not eating, not getting in those nutrients or calories, your body will go into what's known as starvation mode. Now, it's not going to be crazy or anything, but if you are going longer periods of time of fasting, your body will increase the starvation mode, and that's basically where it's not sure when it's going to get those nutrients again. It's not sure when it's going to be refueled, so it wants to hold on to everything for as long as it can, so it knows it's going to have those necessary components to keep your body functioning healthy. So for your body to function healthy, even if you're sitting still, completely still, doing nothing, just staring at the ceiling, laying there, your body still is burning calories because your lungs are operating, your heart's operating, things inside of you are moving around, changing, growing, shrinking, doing all these sort of things throughout the day to keep you functioning properly. So you do burn calories even at 100% rest. So with that being said, you do need to be taking in those things quite frequently, in my opinion. However, if you don't get those in, your body will go into starvation mode. And for the 10th question, it's going to be more of a list. It's going to be my 5 top supplements for women because the question was, what are the best supplements for women? And I didn't want to just list off a couple and randomly give them to you. So I broke down my top 5 supplements that I think every woman could benefit from and could see positive results from in their health and fitness journey. So my number 1 supplement for women to take is iron. Now, my main reason for this is because of the menstrual cycle that women go through monthly. Now, you do lose a lot of blood. Blood contains a lot of iron. Now, many women can become anemic. Many women can become iron deficient because of complications when it comes to their menstrual cycle. So one of the things I do suggest strongly with any women who may be feeling off, maybe feeling not 110%, maybe want to do some blood work and just see about your iron levels. This is very present in many women who are going through changes. As you get older, it can be an issue as well. It can be something to look out for and be avoided through some dietary changes as well. So as long as you're getting enough iron in, it can help immensely. So the second supplement I do want to touch on for women is calcium. Now, calcium is very important for a number of things, for bone growth, for all these things, osteoporosis as women age, as humans age, but the number 1 thing it can benefit women from is during pregnancy. Calcium is the building block of your bone tissue. It is the building block of a lot of cells in your body, and when you are going through pregnancy, when you are developing another human inside of your body, it is very, very important for that proper development. So calcium would be my second supplement that I think women should be taking. And again, the third one that I do want to touch on, the third supplement I think women should be taking is going to tie into the last one, and it's due to pregnancy. It's magnesium. Now, magnesium is going to be a key building block in the overall health and development of your child in the pregnancy stage and your overall well-being. So if you are looking to be pregnant, if you are pregnant or you're going through it right now, magnesium is a supplement that you definitely should be taking to kind of help make sure everything is at optimum performance and you are at optimum health to have a healthy baby and ultimately have a healthy birth. So the fourth supplement I think women should be taking is folate. Now, the main reason I do think women should take this or could benefit from it, again, it's going to tie into the pregnancy thing. Most of the ones that are specific to women will be more tailored to pregnancy when it comes to supplements, because if I'm being honest, most things are very common between men to women if it's coming for overall well-being and health. But when it comes to specific things, your menstrual cycle and the pregnancy part is basically going to be the biggest difference between men to females. So folate is my number 4, and it basically helps the neurotube grow and develop for the baby. So if your baby is going to be developed inside of your body, this is basically developing the brain and the spine and everything in between there. So this is going to be very, very important to avoid any mental illness, to avoid any spine problems, and overall development of that area specifically. So when it comes to folate, that would be the 4th supplement that I do suggest women take, and more or less if they're looking to get pregnant or are pregnant. The 5th supplement that I would suggest every woman take is biotin. Now, for a number of reasons, especially when it comes to pregnancy, it can help with embryonic growth. But the one thing and the main thing I do think it kind of benefits women for is their hair, skin, and nails. This is going to be something that's a little more common for women to take is biotin. You can get it at most supplement stores, Walmart, most of these supermarkets will have it. You're better off going to a supplement store, it'll probably be higher dosage and better quality. But if you are going to a regular supermarket, you can still pick it up there and it will help your hair, skin, and nails immensely. So if you have brittle nails, thin breaking hair, not the healthiest skin, this is something you can implement in your day-to-day lifestyle. Totally safe to take, and it will help you immensely with those things. Hope that helps. Alright guys, that is my top 10 questions that I get most asked by my female clients. So if you are someone who's struggling with their health and fitness goals, if you are looking to take your nutrition to that next level and you have some questions, jot them in the comments below or DM me personally and I'll be sure to get back to every single one of you. Much love for hanging out for the whole video. I do appreciate that. I am feeling like crap today, so if you guys cannot tell, I feel like my eyes are on fire right now. So I champ through this and I appreciate you for champing through it too. So from the bottom of my heart, it means a lot to me. I gotta go lay down, but if you are finding value in this, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Much love. Peace.